You're listening to the Life Coaching Secrets Podcast, episode number 102. Did you know that life coaches are needed now more than ever? I'm Frank Macri, founder of Thriving Coach Academy. I've trained over 1,000 coaches and helped them launch their own successful coaching businesses. If you want to make an incredible income and impact as a coach and have a lot of fun doing it, I'll show you exactly how to get it done. This is Life Coaching Secrets. What's up, coaches? In this episode, I'm going to talk about how to not be a terrible life coach. I'm going to go over the 3 qualities of the most successful coaches. So you're going to learn in this episode what the successful coaches are doing differently from all the other coaches out there. So if you're someone who's looking to take your coaching to the next level, or maybe you've been intrigued by the world of coaching and you want to know what sets the successful coaches apart from the rest, then I'm going to share with you those 3 qualities that I've figured out after studying the paths to success for the hundreds of coaches that I've been able to train over the years. I sat down, I did a lot of research, and I was able to come up with these 3 qualities. And the reason I'm going to share these with you is because these are qualities that you can start tapping into right now. What really inspired this episode is I was talking to a potential student recently, and he asked a really interesting question. He said, what are the reasons why a coach might fail? What are the reasons why a coach might fail? And I responded by saying, that is not really a useful question to ask, because your brain is then just going to focus on the negative. It's just going to focus on failure rather than focusing on you succeeding. So I invited him to consider asking the question differently. I said, what if instead of focusing on what it is that causes coaches to fail, you focus on what is it that causes coaches to succeed? And I responded to him, and he was super excited and ended up jumping into the program. So I'm going to go over those 3 qualities in this episode. And at the end of this episode, I'm going to go over what we deliver to you in Thriving Coach Academy. So if you've been curious about our coach training program, if you're wondering what exactly you get on the inside, I will go over everything that you get as a student in the academy. All right, so let's dive in. So there's 3 main qualities. The first quality that I've seen in the most successful coaches is coachability. Coachability. Coachability means being open to feedback. Okay? So as a coach, you will go through training and you'll receive lots of feedback. And it's very important to receive this feedback with an open mind, without becoming defensive or without taking it personally. Now, this requires a willingness to be vulnerable and recognize some areas where you may need to improve. And also, it's going to require that you make a commitment to incorporate the feedback so you can make those positive changes. Now, when I got started as a coach, I had a bit of an ego. I was a little bit stubborn. And I said, I don't really think I need to have anyone teach me how to coach. I'll just use my intuition. I'll just read a few books about it. And I thought that was all that I needed. So when I got started, I found a woman who invited me to coach her. And in the very first session, I called her up and I felt really confident at first. I was asking her all these different questions. And then suddenly, about 10 minutes into the session, she brought up a challenge and I had no idea how to respond to it. I went completely blank, and then I started fumbling over my words, and she picked up on my energy. She knew that I was struggling, and rather than finish the session, she decided she just wanted to hop off the call and end it all together. And I never heard from her again. And I was completely embarrassed in that moment. It was a really humbling experience, but what I got from it was so valuable. I realized the importance of getting support. I realized the importance to open myself up to learn the things that I don't even know that I need to know. So that phrase, you don't know what you don't know, right? That applies to you. That applies to everyone whenever you're looking to level up in your life or learn a new skill. So when you're in a space where you can receive feedback and learn from others, that's going to allow you to polish your coaching skills and make sure that you are coaching at the top of your game. Now, another part of coachability is being willing to be completely wrong, right? So you might have in your idea this need to be right. And as humans, we sometimes have a part of us that we like being right. Who can blame us? But when you go through your journey of becoming successful as a coach, right, you need to be willing to be completely wrong. So that means if you had an idea about what could work or what might be the answer, and you might have an attachment to that, you need to be willing to let all that go. Okay, so one example I love giving to our students in the academy is sometimes we wear a little know-it-all hat on our heads. So be honest with yourself. Can you sometimes be a bit of a know-it-all? Many of us can be at times. But when you want to jump into learning coaching and building up your coaching business, you've got to take off that know-it-all hat and you've got to show up as a lifelong learner. Okay, someone that's really willing to learn. As adults, sometimes we think, oh, the learning's done. We should have the answers already. We should have everything figured out. And this is not true. You're never too old to learn a new skill. It's never too late for that. Okay? Part of coachability is also not assuming that you know how to coach, just assuming that you know what it is. Many of these students in the academy, right away, when they start hearing full coaching sessions, they realize, wow, what I thought was coaching is actually not coaching. Or some students have already some experience coaching in previous roles, but they realize in the academy that they were never really doing deep coaching all along. So it completely transforms their definition of coaching. So don't assume you know how to coach. Be willing to be completely wrong and be really open to feedback, which means not having resistance or not being defensive about it, just really taking it in. When I finally decided to go through coach training, I made the decision to soak up every piece of feedback that I could get. I was a sponge for the feedback. I wanted to learn about all of my shortcomings. I wanted to know what my weaknesses were because I wanted to grow. I wanted to show up as the best possible coach that I could be. And the last thing I want to talk about coachability, because sometimes people check off all those boxes and they're very coachable, but the thing that gets in their way is their willingness to receive support, just their willingness alone. So there are many reasons why some people might struggle to receive support or feedback. One is just you're afraid to be vulnerable, right? You're afraid to ask for help because you think that asking for help is a sign of weakness. Or you might have the rule that you should already have the answers. You should have it figured out. Okay, maybe you are afraid of receiving some kind of criticism because it might be difficult for you to hear that and process it, right? Or maybe you just have some kind of difficulty trusting others because maybe there were times in the past where you were let down by other people. So you might struggle to trust that, anyone who's offering you some kind of support or feedback, you might question whether that person or that program is really, or that opportunity is really genuine and really there for you. Okay. Now, listen, I've got it. Like I've had experiences like this where I've, thought I was going to get something and didn't get what I thought. And it started to make me question, like, okay, who can I really trust? But I realized that skepticism really doesn't get me much progress in my life. It doesn't move me forward. What has gotten me so much farther is being open to feedback, being willing to receive feedback, and knowing that just because you get feedback or you experience some type of support, it's not a sign of weakness. In fact, I think that vulnerability and receiving support is a sign of strength, right? It's showing that you're strong, and it also shows that you care, right? And you're a human. We all have things that we don't know. We all have blind spots. Even the most self-aware people have blind spots. So you're not alone for needing to be receiving feedback. So that is the first quality, coachability. All right, number 2 is patience. Now, this is a word that I've struggled with before, and I struggle with it now moving into the house a few months ago. I was so excited to move in and get all this new furniture, And then I realized that most of the furniture pieces I wanted were going to take 4 or 5 months before they arrived. And I'm still waiting for major pieces of furniture. And it's been such an opportunity for me to strengthen my patience muscle even more. It's really fascinating how we can just want the results immediately. And if we don't get them, we get very frustrated or irritated or discouraged because we just want that immediate gratification. The reality is that your success as a coach, it's going to take some time. And I believe that anything worthwhile in life requires some time and it requires some effort. Okay? So with that being said, right, even though it's going to require time and effort, with the support of the Academy, we're going to make that 10 times easier. Okay? We're going to accelerate the process. Okay? So having patience means you want to have a long-term perspective with your coaching goals and your coaching business. Okay? You want to play what I call the long game. This is another episode that I'm going to go deeper into. You want to think of it as like you're playing the long game. You're not just jumping in to get rich quick and get out, right? Or just to make a quick buck and then cash out and be done. Right? You want to have a long-term perspective and realize that every action you take now are like seeds that you're planting in a garden, and all of those seeds are going to grow. They're going to blossom. They're going to bloom. Okay? So everything you do is all planting seeds. And as long as you just trust the process and you're patient, then you will inevitably see results. Like I really want you to embody that right now. What if you knew that today, if you started your journey as a coach and you knew that as long as you stay committed to the process, right, in 2 years, you are going to have a lifetime of success just by putting in a couple of years, right? That's bound to happen. And I'm just randomly choosing the label 2 years. It doesn't mean that that's going to be the timeline for you. But what if you just knew that, you put in some time and then your results become inevitable? Okay? So you want to be patient with the process. You might not start making the money right away. You might not start charging what you want to charge right away. But as long as you stay patient and you continue to show up, you continue to, take the steps necessary to be successful, your business is going to grow in the way you want to grow it. And so is your impact, the impact that you're going to have on people's lives. All right. So patience is key. Play the long game. Don't play the short game. All right. The third quality is decisiveness. This is a really big one. Okay. As a life coach, having decisiveness means that you're able to make timely and effective decisions to move your coaching business forward. Okay. This means taking some intelligent risks. It means trusting your instincts. And it means being willing to take action even when you're not totally certain. Okay? Even when you're not totally prepared or ready. One of the keys to success as a coach is you must start before you feel ready. Because if you wait to feel ready, you're just going to wait your entire life. And then the opportunity is going to be gone. Okay? So don't wait until you feel ready. One of the qualities of the most successful coaches, and I've trained so many that this is one of those themes I see in every single coach that has major success. They're willing to make decisions and say yes to opportunities and start taking action before they feel ready. They take action even when they're a bit unsure. One of my mentors offer the idea that when you're looking at a decision or an opportunity, as long as you're at least 51% into it, that's enough. That's enough evidence that you need to say yes or move forward. Because sometimes we're like, okay, I'm not 100% yet. I want to be 100%. I want to be 100% prepared. I want to feel 100% ready. And this is just fear in disguise. This is your brain that's showing up in a very sophisticated way, but it's all just fear. Okay? When you take a long time to make decisions, you miss out on opportunities. You miss out on momentum that you could be having in your business. So I'll give you some specific examples of how decisiveness can serve you as a coach. One is if you're thinking of, maybe you're thinking of making a coaching program and you're trying to figure out what it is to include in that program. So rather than spending months or even years trying to perfect a coaching program before you launch it, a decisive coach might choose to launch a beta version of that program, which means that you tell people, listen, like this is a beta version of this program, I'm refining it, and I'm willing to have a certain number of people be in it. And then you let people go through the beta version of your program and you collect lots of feedback from those early participants. And what that does is it allows you to make your program more powerful. It's going to allow you to market it in a more powerful way based on the improvements of that feedback that you get. Okay. Another way that coaches might avoid decisiveness is trying to figure out a marketing strategy for your business. You might think, I don't really know what social media platform to use, or I don't really know what I want to talk about in, my podcast episode, or I'm not sure what kind of niche or specialty I want to focus my business around, or I don't know what my message is. I don't know what my offer is. I'm not sure. Should I go to that networking event? I just don't know. So I laugh because it's the laugh of recognition. I was this way when I got started, and I also hear it from a lot of coaches in their earlier phases. So here's what I want you to know. If you're someone listening and you're like, I just struggle to make decisions and I hem and haw, I stay on the fence. Listen, you cannot make the wrong decision as long as you decide to grow. You cannot make the wrong decision as long as you decide to grow. And this might be a powerful belief to apply to every area of your life. Okay, because if you're afraid to make a decision, it's because you're worried you're going to make the wrong decision and you're going to regret that decision. But what if there was no wrong decision, right? What if you decided on the rightness of your decision the moment that you're making it? What if you decided that you were going to learn or grow from every decision that you make? So some people have said, well, I don't know if I even want to become a coach because, I'm drawn to it, but what if I regret it and then I realize it's not for me? One of the things I want to share with you is that your desire for enlightenment is evidence that it's your destiny. Your desire for enlightenment is evidence that it is your destiny, right? So even if you were to decide to become a coach and then realize that maybe you don't want to have a coaching business, have you really lost anything? You've only gained a skill that you can use to transform your relationships, to transform your thinking, to transform who you are as a person and the way you show up in the world. So you cannot lose, right, by becoming a coach. You really cannot. You can only gain. And you could apply that belief, that attitude to every opportunity in your life. Right? I cannot make the wrong decision as long as I decide to grow. Now, sometimes people think that, in order to make decisions that they have to get clear. And then a lot of people wonder, well, how do I get clarity? I'm looking for clarity because I'm not sure. So let me just keep researching. Let me just keep thinking about it and pondering it. I'm waiting to get the clarity I need. Here's what you need to know about this. Clarity comes from taking action. It comes from you doing things. Okay, so as a coach, you might get sucked into a cycle of overthinking or analysis paralysis. It's funny. Sometimes when I'm supporting our coaches, I just stop them and say, listen, you are overthinking. You already have the answers. You already know what you need to do. And the coach just realized, okay, perfect. I'm ready. Thank you. So you might spend hours and hours researching all these different marketing strategies or pricing models or niches, but just not taking any action. But true clarity, it comes from you taking action and learning from your experiences. Taking action and learning from your experiences. Okay, I'm working on another episode about choosing a coaching niche and some things to know about that. And when I got started, I was so concerned about what's the best or right niche. And I was going around in circles trying to figure it out. And then finally, I just decided on a niche. I put myself out there. I started serving that niche. And it gave me feedback to know what niche I really wanted to work with. And it just kept evolving from there. I also relate this to dating, right? Like imagine if you just sat around and you're like, I'm not going to date anybody because I don't want to date the wrong person. Right? How do you figure out what you want? You start dating a lot of people and then you'll realize, okay, these are the qualities I do care about. These are the qualities I'm attracted to. These are the qualities that I don't care about and that I'm not attracted to. But you only get that clarity from dating, from putting yourself out there and taking action. The same exact approach works in your coaching business. All right. So don't be afraid of letting things be a little bit messy, right? If you have a part of you that maybe you have a perfectionistic part of you, there's a little bit of perfectionism, okay? And you want everything to look polished and perfect before you take action. Be willing to let that go. Let it be a little bit messy, okay? Let some things not be fully formed before you start taking action with them, okay? Your clients are still going to be drawn to you. They're still going to want to work with you. And also there's something very relatable about it too. Like when I got started, there were definitely some things about my business that I didn't have all my ducks in a row, but my clients showed up because they believed in me. They believed in what I was offering and they believed in themselves, right? So they're willing to take action and move forward, even though I didn't have every single thing figured out. I mean, even to this day, I'm still learning about new ways of growing and running a business. I was just talking to my accountant the other day and he mentioned this term and I said, oh, I've never heard of that before. Can you explain that to me? And here I am a decade into the coaching industry and having my own business. And there are still things that I'm learning. And it's a beautiful thing that you can just continue to learn as you go. Learn as you go. All right. So those are the 3 qualities of the world's top coaches. Again, those qualities are being coachable, being patient, and being decisive. So right now, right, what if you imagine yourself embodying those qualities? And don't write yourself off as just not having those qualities because all those qualities are within you. It just is you have to connect to them and remember the truth of who you are. So when was the last time when you were able to really be open to receiving feedback and you allowed yourself to receive support? Like you surrendered to needing to know it all and you just allowed yourself to receiving support and it just benefited you so tremendously. Think about the last time that that happened for you. Now think about a time when you were able to release your attachment to instant gratification and you were able to be patient. You were willing to wait before you got an amazing result and it was so worth it. You were willing to play the long game with some kind of goal or pursuit that you had. And you found yourself all the way to the finish line. You didn't bail out before you got those results. Think about an example of that for you. And now think about the last time when you were able to decide on something, even when you didn't feel ready, and it all worked out. It all worked out, maybe even better than you thought it would. When was the last time you started something or said yes to something before you felt totally ready or prepared? And what benefit did that have for you? So now you're starting to recognize and connect to these qualities in you, and you realize that you have it. You have what it takes to be successful as a coach. You just need to remember the truth of who you are. So I want to end this episode by going over what it is that we give you in Thriving Coach Academy. It's been a while since I talked about this, and I know we have some new listeners, and I know we have some listeners that have been curious to know. So we offer a comprehensive and accredited coach training program. By the end of the program, you'll not just get your certification in coaching, but you'll also know exactly how to run a coaching business that can earn you 5 figures per month. Okay, so I want to talk about the process that we deliver to make sure that happens for you. There are 2 skills that you need to know to be successful as a coach. One is the art of coaching, and the other is the business of coaching. And we teach both of these. So when you start, you're going to learn how to coach. You're going to learn how to coach effectively. You will begin by going through our core training. This is a series of videos where you're going to learn and be introduced to coaching skills, tools, and concepts. You're also going to get recordings of full coaching sessions so you can see how it comes to life and see everything broken down. We also will send out to you our training manuals, which does all the note taking for you, and it gives you frameworks that you can use with clients right away. Yes, you get hard copies of coaching manuals sent to your door wherever you are in the world. You also get access to our weekly practice coaching calls, and you're able to get started right away and join our calls the week you enroll. Now, on these calls, you're going to hear other coaches just like you use their coaching skills on other members of the program. We also have instructors who give on-the-spot feedback and guidance on those calls. Now, we're not going to have you coach right away. We're going to have you listen at first, but then when you get a little farther in the program, you'll be invited to also coach on those calls, and they are amazing. They're going to blow you away. You also get access to specialty training. So you might decide that you want to specialize your coaching in one area, but whether or not you choose to have a niche, we're going to give you access to all the different areas of coaching that you need to know. We're going to teach you how to do health coaching, relationship coaching, money coaching, time coaching, life purpose coaching, executive coaching, any kind of life transition that people go through. We're going to give you specialized trainings so that way you know how to go deep in each of these areas. And then finally, you get to work with a mentor coach. You get to have access to a dedicated mentor coach from start to finish. And this mentor coach is going to give you personalized feedback. They're going to show you exactly what you're doing well, what you're not doing well, and how to improve. You're going to love working with your mentor coach. You're going to build a close relationship to them because they're going to support you in nailing all the skills that you're learning in the program. So that's going to teach you how to be an amazing coach. And then the other half of it is knowing how to grow a coaching business, because we don't want you to get certified and think, okay, now what do I do? So as a student in the academy, you will get lifetime business support. You get access to our Client Magnet Masterclass, which is a business development program that's going to show you exactly how to attract clients and grow your coaching business. You'll know exactly what to charge, what to offer, and where to find clients, and how to do it in the simplest way. Now, what makes our approach to business so different and so unique from any other coach training program out there is that we are the only program to teach you how to position yourself as a high-ticket coach. Now, what does that mean? High ticket means that you are offering a high-value program for your clients. So oftentimes, as a high-ticket coach, you won't be selling your coaching for the hour, okay? A lot of coach training programs will say, just charge $100 or $200 an hour and work with that. Now, really think about that for a minute. If your goal is to earn $10,000 a month as a coach, and you're selling coaching sessions for $100 an hour, you're going to have to sell so many coaching sessions every single month just to hit that goal. So instead of needing to hustle and make your life 10 times more difficult, once you learn how to sell high-ticket coaching, then you will be able to significantly reduce the amount of marketing you're going to have to do, so you can focus more on the coaching, and you can also attract incredible clients that are looking for that deep transformation. So as a high-ticket coach, you might sell your coaching for $3,000, $5,000, or $10,000 per client. And we'll help you in the academy figure out how many sessions to include in that and what other forms of value that you can give to your clients. We'll help you piece that all together. But for now, I want you to understand the big picture. Right? If you're wanting to earn $10,000 a month, you only need a couple of high-ticket clients to do that, right? A couple of clients at $5K each, or even just one client a month at $10K each. Okay, so hopefully you're starting to see how much more simplified this makes it for you. So you will learn exactly how to be a premium coach, create those high-ticket programs, and attract the people that are so excited to say yes to making that commitment and investment in themselves. And we also give you lots of bonus trainings on how to start your own podcast and how to be an amazing public speaker, get speaking gigs, create workshops, and also put together your own webinars. You're going to get lots of done-for-you guides to also make sure that you're sharing your voice in the most powerful way. So all of that is what's included, as well as lifetime business support. So if you have any question that comes up about how to put everything together, even tech support, you're able to get direct mentorship for lifetime access, okay? We're not just gonna kick you out. There's no expiration date, and you can re-attend any training that you'd like to attend. Now, a lot of our training is synchronous, meaning most of the hours you're gonna spend getting the training live. Okay, it's all virtual, but you're going to be in a live virtual classroom with other students, with other instructors. Okay, so this is not just a program where you're going to be left on your own. You're going to be experiencing coaching, you're going to receive coaching, and you're also going to be able to practice coaching and get that direct feedback. We very much focus on community. So you are going to meet coaches just like you who are going to have similar goals and going to be high energy. Our community is amazing. I can go on and on about our community. We just attract such incredible, diverse people, and they all have a shared desire to make an impact and make a positive difference in people's lives. So you're going to meet lots of people just like you, and you're going to be able to connect with them. We have coaches from all around the world, and it's beautiful to see just our coaching community grow. And for the very first time this year, we are offering an in-person retreat for our coaches. So when you book your admissions call with our team, we will be sure to tell you about our in-person retreat, which is optional for all of our students in the academy. So if you're looking to get started, then all you need to do is click the link in the show notes to go to our homepage, which is www.thrivingcoachacademy.com. thrivingcoachacademy.com. On that page, you're going to get an invitation to access our Coaching 101 training. Okay, this is a free introductory 1-hour video where you will learn the foundation to be successful as a coach. Okay, you're going to learn exactly what it takes. And once you finish that, you book an admissions call with our team. We'll make sure that we can support you in hitting your goals. And that's how you're able to enroll in our program and get started right away. All right, so if you're listening to this and you realize that it's your time to make a difference. It's your time to impact people in a positive way. It's your time to create a career where you have total freedom and flexibility. Then we would love to see how we can support you in the academy. All right, that's what I got for this episode. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye. Hey, would you like access to powerful coaching tools you can use on yourself and clients right away? For being a listener of the podcast, I'm giving you a VIP guest pass to get a sneak peek into my coach training program. Inside, you'll learn our coaches' secret tool they use to transform their clients' lives. And you'll also get a training on how to launch a coaching business. Just head over to www.thrivingcoachacademy.com/VIP to get started. I'll see you on the inside.